Step 70. I got my parts out here a few minutes ago, and I had forgotten that the turrets, there must be a subtle difference, because they've got one is number 10 and the other is number 11. As near as I can see, the base is the same. Now, we won't be using the plastic barrels because Tony sent us the metal ones. It looks like it's going to be fairly straightforward here. I think we should be able to get through step 70 by the end of the day. Now, there is a little bit of photo etch going on here. Just, like ladders and stuff like that. Our sun has just come up I guess maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago. And I'm noticing that it is considerably to the right. I think that in time we're not going to be able to see it unless those trees that we've got going on there lose all their leaves. Then we might be able to see through the branches as to where the horizon more or less is. That's not the real horizon, as I've mentioned, because the berm is there and we've got to kind of look over that to see the horizon. Anyway, enough detail that you don't need, right? Let's just sort of move on here. Once again, I don't know how today is going to go, but I'm optimistic at the moment. Now, I was planning to get all our parts together here, and I'm noticing it says make 3. And so that would mean we need 3 number 10s. And I'm checking, and I'm noticing we've only got 2. We've got 2 10s and 3 11s. And then I remembered some months ago we had put one of these together. Now, I'm hoping I did not glue it together, although I suppose it wouldn't really matter, because it wouldn't matter because the blast bags are going to plug into these holes, and then the metal barrels will go into the blast bags. So that it wouldn't, well, why am I talking about it? Why don't I just see if it'll come apart? No, I must have glued it together. But like I say, it doesn't matter. Well, these blast bags obviously have sprue on them. But how would they go? They would go, trying to do this on cameras, and maybe not a good idea. Yeah, it'll go like that, and then the barrels will plug into the blast bag. Yeah, so that won't, it doesn't matter that I glued this together already. So this is obviously a number 10, even though I can't see the 10 on the inside of the top. Okay, I'm sort of thinking out loud here, aren't I? Yeah, so, well, there's one with the blast bag already stuck on it. Seems to me, I remember we looked at that a few days ago, didn't we? Now, Tony was recommending sanding these barrels, so I'm just going to, you know what, I wonder if I was to mount them in the Tamiya electric drill. We could use the drill to sand them. Yeah, we'll try that. That would be kind of fun. Now, I got a comment. It was in an older video, but the comment just came through about 2 or 3 days ago. And somebody had asked me, why is it that I'm using tweezers so much for holding stuff? Like, the idea was that wouldn't it be better to pick it up with your fingers? Well, in this case it probably would, because I got to try and see if it'll fit in there. Yeah, there we go. Get this to lock down. There, now the button's pushed. Alright, let's see how that's going to work. So why isn't it going? Oh, there. Yeah, I think we should be able to sand that fairly evenly. Oh, well, yeah, I was starting to talk about why do I why do I use tweezers so much for picking stuff up instead of just grabbing it with my fingers? And the reason being is the old fingers just don't work as good as they used to. That's the bottom line. Okay, I'm going to want to not tighten this down too much here. After all, this is just plastic. The idea is I want it to hold still because I'm going to use the macro lens so we can get in nice and close to see, if the 1000 grit sandpaper is going to actually, scuff that enough. I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah, that's going to work okay. However, I am noticing that there already is sort of like you might say little lines. Now, is this from when these barrels were turned down when they manufactured them, or did the original barrels on the hood have lines like this? I got a feeling that this is from when these things were actually made and just quickly turned down. They didn't finish them off. That's my uneducated guess. Now, the plan is I will put the macro lens on. My plan is to take this and just hold it and just slowly run it along. But I want to get the macro lens on so we can notice the difference. Now, this is only 1000 grit sandpaper. It's not going to scuff it very much, but I think it will scuff it enough that the paint is going to stick to it, or I'm probably going to use the, I don't know what I'm going to use yet. I'll think about it. Anyway, let's get our macro lens on here. Now, I could be getting in a little bit closer here, but if I do, then we're not going to see the entire length of the barrel. And I think we're probably magnified enough here that we should be able to see what's going to happen. So here we go. Well, maybe I should go back and forth. Oh yeah, we are scuffing it. We are definitely scuffing that. Let's just leave it still here and just... Now, I think this is aluminum. It looks like aluminum coming off on my finger there. Now, it kind of looks like I missed right there where there's a difference in the diameter. So I'm going to come in like this. Okay, that's scuffed. Okay, I've done the other 7, and you can see here on the sandpaper where the aluminum definitely came off, so we have definitely scuffed it. And don't know if you can see it, but I got it embedded in my skin here. I hope it's not poisonous. I want to get that off before I start handling my camera anymore. Okay, I realize that this is probably overkill. Now there is method in my madness, and I'm going to try to get these as, you might say, pristine as possible, and then I'm going to try to handle them with my greasy fingers as little as possible. And now this Iwata airbrush cleaner that I've got in my ultrasonic cleaner here, it's kind of leaves a soapy film on whatever. Now, speaking of draping my arm across in front of the lens, I was noticing I better get this into the isopropyl before it cures on there on the outside of the barrels. So this is just your regular isopropyl here. And the reason for the napkin was to get rid of as much as I reasonably can so that it doesn't make my isopropyl diluted down, if you know what I mean. Okay, so what I was starting to say is when I moved my arm across in front of the lens, I was noticing how wrinkly it's getting. Well, part of it is because it's my age, and part of it's because I've lost so much weight, and the skin hasn't stretched back. It's lost its elasticity. And I was jokingly thinking to myself, I could take this green cloth and make myself a long sleeve shirt, or at least pullover type thing with longer sleeves so nobody would see my arms. And it would be the right color. It would match all my stuff down in the workshop. In fact, Tennessee Jim called it the green room. Most of the stuff down there was green if you used to watch my workshop videos up until 2.5-3 years ago. Anyway, let's just carry on here. We'll get these out, and like I say, I'm going to handle them as little as possible with my fingers, which I have scrubbed the aluminum oxide out of. Okay, in case you're worried that maybe the tablecloth here was kind of dirty, well, I just vacuumed this spot off. So at least it doesn't have any dust in it. And now my plan is to try not to handle these with my fingers, as I mentioned. Another plan I've got is I'm thinking that before I glue the barrels into the blast bags, I'm going to paint the blast bags and barrels separately, because the blast bags, I believe, were a lighter color than the turret. I think it was sort of a canvas type material, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what this is supposed to represent, a drooping canvas. So I'll paint these separate, and the barrels separate, and the turrets, and then assemble the pieces. I think there will be less chance of getting, you might say, overspray. When I'm painting, it'll look a little bit more crisp. At least that's my thinking on this. And now this cloth, by the way, it's just a beach towel that I got off Amazon. This is the second largest one. There was actually one larger, a huge thing, and it wasn't expensive. And I don't know if this material would make a good shirt or not. I'm probably better off going to the fabric store and getting something, but it feels nice. I don't know how well it would sew. Some stuff gets kind of, you might say, crumbly. I don't know what it would be called, but I know that some cloth will sew together and stand up in the wash a lot better than others will. Anyway, yeah. But if I do it, I will not do it on camera, I can assure you, because I'm not what you would call a seamstress, or maybe a tailor. Yeah, a tailor. I like the word tailor better than seamstress. Okay, let's put these in a safe place until we want to paint them. I was noticing that after we got our sunrise camera back onto the bird feeder, that there was a lot of frost on the bird feeder, especially yesterday morning. And I was thinking, I wonder if there's moisture getting into the seeds. So I went out and I checked this morning, and they're okay. We're almost ready to be adding the black oil seeds. I want to wait until they're completely gone, or almost completely gone though, before I put more seed in that one. Anyway, that's the update on the bird feeder. But I haven't seen too many birds. In fact, I haven't seen any yet today. Okay, right after I recorded that little soundbite and edited into our video there, and said I hadn't seen any birds, I noticed movement in my monitor just above the computer screen. Don't you know, there was a bird. Not 30 seconds after I had said I hadn't seen any birds. But I didn't want to have to make another soundbite to correct that. I thought I'd just let you know right now. Yes, we did see at least one bird today. However, here in step 70, I'm finding it really confusing here. Okay, it says make 3, so we make 3 that have use number 10. Well, here's obviously one of them. So there's the 3. Now, I guess if we turn the page, maybe there's going to be something else. But I don't want to mess this up, because some of these parts here, like this one here, H3, it looks identical almost to H4. And okay, so okay, what do we got here? I'll have to check these out a little bit more carefully here. I don't want to be making any mistakes. I thought we'd get done today. I didn't realize I was going to have a problem, because like I say, it's just not clear to me as to what we're supposed to do here, because they call this main gun number 1. Okay, does this mean that we only make one that is what number is this anyway? It doesn't say. Is this all number 10? Okay. You will notice that yesterday's episode, some of you that is, will have noticed that yesterday's episode was about an hour late posting. Well, I got it going in plenty of time, I thought, and maybe I was relying on the fact that lately they've been uploading really fast, but yesterday it uploaded really slow, and that sort of threw us for a loop there. So I'm going to want to get started a little bit earlier today with the upload and the final edit, which I actually want to start doing right now. Once again, I might come back and work at this later this afternoon and this evening, in which case there will be a rollback tomorrow as to what has happened here. Maybe if somebody actually knows, some of you that have already done this kit, in the comments. Probably though, by the time I read the comments, I'll have decided what I'm going to do here. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.